Hey, we've all had people in our life who have let us down and hurt us, but just because someone did that once doesn't mean they're always going to be that way. And today we're going to be reading from 2 Timothy 4 as we see what happened in Paul's life.
All right. Hey, thank you for joining us for this week's study of the Bible. And we are in 2 Timothy towards the end. Paul is in prison. Mm-hmm. He has, it's not looking good for him. He's going to be martyred. Last week, we talked about the fact that he's finished the race. He's done a good job.
Yep,
he's
looking forward to that.
But he brings up something now that I think we all can learn from. Mm-hmm. As a matter of fact, I think it's a great life lesson. I have found myself saying what people are. I found myself identifying somebody's character from something they did 10 years ago. I mean, have you done that?
Yeah, they hurt me this, and so they must still be a jerk, right?
You know, that person just is not very generous.
Yeah.
Well, the last time I had a encounter with them was 10 years ago. How do I know? People can change. We see right here that Paul was open to people changing. Mm-hmm. We're going to be talking about a guy named Mark. John Mark was his name. I don't know why two first names, but anyway, his name is Mark. This guy, early, and matter of fact, it was Paul's very first missionary tour, that this guy, Mark, was with him, helping him. A lot of work on these missionary tours, helping him. He had responsibility. Okay, you're responsible for going on ahead of us, making sure people know we're coming, all that stuff. And he just said, this is too much work, and he left. Here he leaves Paul and others, just in a pinch.
Yep.
He goes, he says, this is too much work, I want nothing to do with it. So then later, it was Paul and
Barnabas.
Mm-hmm. Paul and Barnabas were going to go, and Barnabas says to Paul, let's take Mark with us. Mm-hmm. And Paul says, I don't want that lazy bum going with me anywhere. Because when I think of Mark, I think of a lazy bum. The last time he left us holding the bag, he left his responsibility. So, no, I don't want him.
Yeah, and actually Paul and Barnabas
separated ways because Barnabas was a friend of Mark, and Paul said, no, you know what? His reputation, we cannot afford to take somebody that isn't going to stick it out with us.
And this was a decade or two.
Oh, yeah. This was years earlier. And most of us would say that when we make a judgment call like that, we'd say that person will never be responsible.
Yeah.
But hey, people can change.
They can.
Paul didn't write him off forever. As a matter of fact, we'll read here at the very end of Paul's life where he's really reaching out to dependable people more than ever before. Listen to what he says. We are in chapter 4 of 2 Timothy, verse 9. He says this, 9 to 11. He says, do your best to come to me quickly, for Demas, because he loved this world, has deserted me and has gone to Thessalonica. Crescens has gone to Galatia, and Titus to Dalmatia. Only Luke is with me. And then he says this is awesome. Get Mark and bring him with you because he is helpful to me in my ministry.
What a change.
Get Mark because he is helpful to me in my ministry. Over the course of decades, Mark had changed.
Yep.
He had grown. He's not the same person he was when he left them. And for Paul to say, this man is valuable to me. At one time he said, this man is so invaluable to me, I don't even want him coming with us.
I will lose other relationships because of the association.
Not bringing this guy with me. But yet now he has become not even more than just a close friend. He has become a companion, a worker with him. Paul depends on this man named Mark. And I think about our own lives and how many people, I catch myself from time to time, it's so embarrassing, where I kind of refer to people the way they were a decade ago, 7 years ago, 15 years ago, when I had an encounter with them, or when they were a part of the church or part of the ministry. And I say, oh, well, that person. And I catch myself thinking, well, maybe they're not like that anymore. I haven't talked to them in 10 years. They could be completely different.
That's a hard switch to make, though. I mean,
it is.
Especially when we've been hurt. Not just like, you kind of let me down, or you didn't, but when it's like, it's just hard. That's hard.
You quit on me. You left me in a pickle. You made life worse on me.
Yeah.
But they grew. And I think it shows two things. One, that Mark grew.
Something happened in his life to mature.
Yep.
Not just as a father, just as a person,
and Paul being open to people can change. And how I think that's our biggest issue. And just think how it could be better. Just think about the people in our life and look back and say, there are some people that we look at in a negative way. And if we could say, but what if that person's changed? We shouldn't trust people unless they're trustworthy. I'm not suggesting that Paul would have said, if he was still in the same way, that he'd have said that. No, he changed. But for our ability to say, maybe that person has changed, let's see, let's not permanently mark them with that flaw that they had. They could have grown and matured over that. And I've seen that many times in my life, that people have changed. They used to be a certain way, and they've overcome that. And so now they are trustworthy. So I think that's a great lesson. I'm just amazed every time I read it that this relationship one time was so strained, Paul did not want Mark around him at all. The end of his life, when everybody's deserted him, he's saying, Timothy, come to me quickly and bring Mark with you.
He's going to be such a help to me now.
Such a great help. That is awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us for this week's Bible study. And try to look at the relationships in your life in that way. Maybe we can learn something from the Apostle Paul.
Hey, we really hope that this video was helpful for you. If you'd like to stay up to date on our weekly content, make sure to subscribe to our channel and click on that little bell icon so you can be notified when new videos are uploaded. And if you'd like to support the ministries here at Access Church and help make videos like this possible, there'll be a link in the description below. As always, we appreciate your partnership in helping us draw people into a growing relationship with God through Jesus Christ.